All right. Good afternoon, guys. I think, yeah, Kelly was waving hands. Kelly, can you turn on your camera? And I think somebody's speaker is on. I don't know which one. Hope it wasn't mine. Last time I was looking for, but it was mine. All right. So everyone got the link for the attendance? Here we go. One more time, right here. So I have a few announcements to make sure you understand the expectation for the extra credit and also the retest. So I'm gonna give you the 10 credit for your correction. So what does that mean? If you have a 5 missing question, you need to show all 5. You cannot just choose a few and then expecting like a portion of that extra credit. You either get 10 points for show all those missing work that you got it wrong, or you're not gonna get any. So if you want that extra 10 point, please submit that extra what is the extra credit assignment for correction. And another thing, I have, I know Anika submitted the video. Who else submitted this class? Is there anyone submitted the Flipgrid video? Okay, so I guess if you still wanted to work on it, I'll give you opportunity. So that's another 10 point. So let's say you made 60, then you did those 2 extra credit, it will bump it up to 80. All right. And if you wanted to take a retest, I'm making new tests. It's not the same test, but you can take a retest. That will be tomorrow or on Monday. If you missed tomorrow or Monday, I'm not gonna have a retest anymore. So you have to make appointment with me, and then there are 2 sessions in the morning, in the afternoon. So tomorrow morning will be 7:30. You have to contact me if you're online. I mean, if you have to join the Google Meet no later than 8:10. Okay, because you probably at least a good 30 minutes to complete your retest. Okay, so don't, if you come later than 8:10, you probably run out of the time. I'm not guarantee you can finish it within a time. So it will be 7:30 to 8:10 in the morning session, and if it's in the afternoon, will be 4:30 through 5:10. Okay, if you want little late, that's fine, as long as you let me know. Okay, but in the morning you cannot be late because we have a first period start at 8:40, right? So you have to come at least, have enough for to do finish your test. So everyone clear? Either Friday or Monday is a week for who wants to take a test again, and you need to send me an email. You cannot just talk to me here and expect me to remember. Sometimes I forget, so you have to send me an email, and you need to get confirmation from me. All right, so I know you're gonna come for the test. Okay, any question about extra credit or retest, please let me know right now.
On the retest, can we still use like your notebook and stuff?
Yes, ma'am, every condition is the same.
Okay, because I didn't know we could use your notebook.
Yes, you can. Any other question? Yes, extra credit for the correction, that would be 10 point. Extra credit for the Flipgrid video will be another 10 point. Okay, any other question? No? All right, so today I actually my plan was to start a new lesson. However, I saw there is missing part. You guys don't make a connection from what you learned with the question on the test. And I just tell you, everything what you have learned that's connected with the question on the test, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over the test question. However, you can interrupt anytime that you need extra explanation or you didn't understand some part. Please stop me so I can pause and then answer your question. Everyone is clear about that? Alrighty. Then I'm gonna actually share the pre-recorded video. But like I said, I'm here, so you can always stop me. Let me do this quick. Give me a second. It's next Monday. Yes. All right.
All right, the first question is which set of numbers does not contain the value below? So the first of all, you should be able to simplify the number below, which is square root 64 is the same as square root a squared, which means that will be equal to 8. So if we put it into fraction, negative 8 over 2, that will become negative 4. So next thing, you should be able to find your notes. What is each letter, each initial stand for? R is stand for, that's right, real number. N is stand for natural numbers. Z is stand for integers. And Q is stand for rational. So number negative 4, that is integers for sure. And then also integer will be rational number. Integer will be real number. So this is not the answer. And then integer is not the answer. Rational not the answer. The natural number start what? 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So that was the answer. The next one, which of the following represent the multiplicative inverse of the value below? So this information you should be able to find the property of real numbers. So we went over the lesson and you should be able to make own your examples, right? The multiplicative inverse means, let's say you have A and multiply something with that A should give 1. So when that happens, we find out if you're using the reciprocal, then you will always get 1. What does a reciprocal mean? If you have an A, that means 1 over 8. If you have, let's say, 2 over 3, you just flip it, 3 over 2. If you have a negative sign, you keep the negative sign. So everything sign is the same, but you just flip the fraction or flip the number. So 5 over 6x, that can be flipped 6x over 5, which is the last choice. So number 3 was asking you, can you tell attributes of each graph? So the first graph has domain of all real number, right? X is all real number. And then range, same as all real number. And then it's passing through 0, 0 as intercepts, right? So 0, 0 is also x and y intercept. And there is no vertical or horizontal asymptote. And then next one, letter B, has domain as x is all real number. However, what is accepted? It never passed 0, 0, right? The origin, so x shouldn't be the 0. And same with the range, it is all real number. However, it's not passing 0. And this graph is gonna be getting closer to each axis, like an x-axis and y-axis. However, they never gonna cross or touch that. What is that kind of line called? Very good. That is asymptote. So it has a both vertical asymptote, which is up and down, and it has a horizontal asymptote. The vertical asymptote is x equals 0, and horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. I think we got the answer, but let's move on to the next graph. So next graph, that's what? Absolute value graph. The domain is all the way, right? So domain should be all the real number. However, the range is starting when y is 0, and it's only going to count on the top part, which is range. Range has to be greater than 0. Yes, all real number, but greater or equal to 0. And there is no asymptote. And the next one, domain, it's only start from 0 to right side, so x has to be greater or equal to 0. And then range is same, right? It's only start with a 0 and then extend to the positive side, so y is also greater or equal to 0. And there is no asymptote. All right, number 4. So they given those attributes. So now you're using graphing calculator and see each graph. I just put little sketch on them. So the first one is, it's like a y equal 1 over x. And the next one is y equals square root x. And the next one is y equal x cubed. And next one, y equal absolute value of x. So I just put y instead of f of x. You know that's the same thing, right? So from here, let's see which one has a domain, the infinity, negative infinity to infinity. That means all real number, right? However, the range is include 0 and then positive infinity. That means y has to be greater than or equal to 0. And the 0 at origin. That means the intersection with a graph with a 0, 0. The intersection should be on 0, 0 and symmetrical across the y-axis. That means it's symmetrical with a vertical line across the vertical line, right? So the first one, that's already out of our choice because it has an asymptote, right? And it's never touched the 0, 0. And the second one, yes, it starts from the 0. So there is a 0 as an origin. However, look at the domain. Domain is only the right side. That means it has to be greater than or equal to 0. So that's not the correct one. And the third one, yes, it has a domain as a real number, but look at this side. Range also has to be all real number, right? Then what's the last choice? Yes, the absolute value graph. The domain is yes, both negative and positive infinity. And range is greater than 0 or equal to 0. Yes, it has an intersection on origin 0, 0. So the answer is the absolute value. So if you have the chart that we went over attributes of parent function, this should be easy to find. All right, number 5. And which statement best describes the asymptote behavior of the graph of the function f of x log x? So this one you can use also graphing calculator. The graph looks like this and it is passing the x is a 1, y is a 0. So look at the choice and the first one, f of x approaches and cross the line y equal to. So y equal to is like here. All right, that is y equal to. So this graph getting close to y equal to, but it's not gonna be closed line y equal to, which is that is gonna be the asymptote, right? Horizontal asymptote. So A is not correct described. And then next one does not cross line y equals 0. So I'm sorry, x equals 0. X equals 0 means y axis, right? That is correct. So this has a two asymptote, horizontal asymptote at y equal to and vertical asymptote at x equals 0. So the answer is a B. The next one, it does not cross, it already crossed y equals 0, which means it crossed the x axis, right? And the last one, x has a no asymptote behavior. Yes, we have a 2, right? So horizontal asymptote at y equal 2, the vertical asymptote at x equals 0. So the answer is a B. The next one, which is the intercept of the function f of x cubed. So x cubed, I think I have a graph right here. We can use that graph. So what's the intercept? That's right. It's on the origin right here. So that means 0, 0. Number 7, this was so easy, right? You just need to graph on your graphing calculator, and I explained already on previous question. So square root x graph looks like the letter A. So next one, we need to find inverse. So it's already done for us the first step. Y equals square root x minus 7. And now what you need to do, switch x and y. So y minus 7. And solving for dy, we're gonna what? Square on both sides. So x squared equal y minus 7. Now leave the y by itself, adding 7 on both sides. So y equal x squared plus 7. So it was the second choice. All right, number 9. F of x equal 3 of x minus 5 plus 8. Which of the following represent f inverse of x? And I hear a lot of you guys say f negative 1 of x. No, f negative 1 is a totally different meaning of inverse. Okay, so start using the right term. So f inverse of x or inverse of f of x, either way. So let's try the first step. We're gonna put y instead of f of x, 3x minus 5 plus 8. Now switching x and y, and then solve for the y. So subtract 8 on both sides will give us x minus 8 equal 3 y minus 5, and divide by 3. So x minus 8 over 3 equal y minus 5. Now adding 5 on both sides. So this will cancel, and then plus 5 there. So 5 with the denominator 3 will be 15 over 3, right? So that means x minus 8 plus 15 over 3, which will be x plus 7 over 3. So which is matching? The first option. So the next one, what you can do, you can graph the original function on your decimals. I just sketch on here, and I found the two point I can easily see it. One has what, 0, negative 3, and the other one has negative 2, positive 1. So inverse means you can find the two different way. You can find what? Switching the x and y coordinate point, and you find the 2 points and then draw the graph. Or you know the inverse function graph looks like what? Yes, reflect across y equal x, which is that diagonal line, right? So you can find which one look like the reflect with that y equal x, or you find the point. So I'm gonna find the point. I need to find the point negative 3 when x is a negative 3 and y is a 0. So 1 is right here. That's negative 3 and 0. And the other point, I'm going to switch this when x is 1, right here, y has to be negative 2, so right here. So I'm going to just connect those two, and the graph supposed to be look like this. So which one is matching with that red graph? That's right, this one.
All right, I paused a little bit. Is there any questions so far? Just to remind you guys, you can stop me, you can ask me question while you're watching those explanation if you need a more detailed explanation. Okay?
So you can verify there is a point negative 3, 0, and the other point 1, negative 2, right? Which is right here. All right. the next one, the first thing you need to do, graph that y equal 2 to x power. And then you will find out that has a intercept, y-intercept at 1, right? So that means the inverse will have what? The intersection at when x is 1, y equals 0. So x equal right here. So if you graph every single ones to compare, you should find one looks like this. So that one is which one? That's right. That y equal log base 2 of x. So number 12, if you understood what is the inverse relationship, you could find easily. If you have a table, your x and y value switching. So f is not the answer. And if you see h, yes, 1, -3, and they're switching x and y on the f inverse of x, right? So h is easily the answer, and the graph wise both are not reflect across y equal x. They reflect across what? X axis, which is y equals 0. So they are not the right one. Next one. So what this was meant right here, the domain of f of x restrict x is greater than 0. That means we're not gonna worry about this side of graph. So eventually we're gonna only look at this blue graph, and it's already draw for us that inverse function, right? So you can tell right away they reflect across the y equal x. And this one, even though you don't really fully understand what is the description was talking about, if you know the relationship between function and inverse function, you should be able to tell. Yes, that is across respect to y equal x. So the next one, same thing. You just need to find that point. What you seen on the choice should be flipped x and y from the original function graph. So this one has a -1 and 2. That means your original graph should include 2 and -1. Can we find the 2 and -1? When it's a 2, it's a positive one. So that's not the choice. And what about 2 and 3? That means we have to have a 3, 2. So positive 3, positive 2 right here. So G is the correct one. Let's see, -2, -1. Can you find the -1, -2 on the graph? No, we don't. When it's -1, it's going up. So that's not the one. And next one, -5, 4. -5 is right here. No, we don't even get closer to the 4. So that's not the one. Easy. All right, number 15. You can just use your decimals or graphing calculator, plug that in, and then you're gonna see the table. And all you gotta do is switch your x and f of x or x and y, and which one is matching. That's right, the last choice is the matching one. Number 16, to be honest, you don't even need to do the composition of f of g of x or g of f of x if you understood what the question was asking for. All you gotta do, figure it out. F of g of x is equal to x, g of f of x equal to x in order to prove they are inverse of each other. So the answer is F, the first choice, both the first one and second one. Number 17, this is actually asking same question as number 16. It says how she can use to prove f of x and g of x are inverse functions. So you know we can rewrite in this same as f of g of x equal x. All you gotta do is using that open circle, right? All right. And then same thing with the g of f of x will be g of f of x equal x. Yes, using the open circle, that's the same as letter C. All right, number 18 through the last question is about domain and range. So 18 is asking domain, so that means G is not already the option because Y is what? That's a range, right? And all real number? No, there's no extension on that line segment. It's just has a two endpoint with the closed circle, right? And let's look at the x that is a negative 6, and then right here that's a positive 2. So x is greater or equal to, because it's close the point, and or less than or equal to 2. So F is a correct answer. Number 19, it's asking the range. So that means we need to look for the y value. There's a 3 and then there is a negative 3. However, the endpoints are open circle. That means we're not going to include those numbers. So y has to be greater than negative 3, less than positive 3. So that's the C. So number 20, it's domain and range, but it's written as interval notation. So either using parentheses or bracket. So remember guys, if you're using bracket, that means included. You're using the parentheses, it's not included the number or the value. So easy to remember. We using parentheses all the time for uh, infinity, right? Either negative infinity or positive infinity, because infinity you cannot catch. They're gonna keep on going, right? So let's start with the domain. Domain right here, the x value is a negative 6 and then it's a closed circle, so that means it's included bracket. And the right side it's a 8 and then it's a closed circle, so it's a bracket. So domain is negative 6 through 8. Then now let's see the range. So range is on the bottom, that is a negative 7. On the very top, that's a positive 8. And both are closed circle, so both with using the bracket. So negative 7 through positive 8. So which one is the correct option? Is the F. So hopefully this helps you guys understand what was on the test and how you can relate with your study from all those lessons and assignments you've been doing. And now you know how to prepare for next test. Good job, guys. I'll see you later. 안녕.
All right. So let me do something quick. You don't understand which one? Which one? Say again. You gotta unmute and talking. I cannot hear. Which one? Oh, it wasn't you. I thought it was you. Oh, so Jacqueline, actually, you shouldn't hear none of those. I don't know why it didn't. You couldn't hear that, but you supposed to not hear that. I didn't realize you were there. This is for review, for overview for the test, but you haven't taken a test, correct? So you need to, yeah, you need to set an appointment to take your test. You don't need to go. We'll just finish it. So, um, guys, here is a link that you need to check who took a test. You can click that link and then working. I mean, you don't need to work on, but you're gonna just put it. You don't need to put your name. You can put your initial if you want to, but you don't need to put your name or nothing. I just wanted to have a survey. So after your first test is always a little bit harder than the other tests because you didn't know what's the style of the test, what the teacher expecting from you. So there is always a curve. That's why I'm giving you guys extra credit. So put what you think about the test with your sticky note. You can share something if you want to say, or you can put your initial. You can put your, what does it say? Like whatever you wanted to share. I know that thing is moving, so if it moved, please bring it back. Bring it back. All right. So try to just click the post-it, little post-it, and then put it on that place. So this video is not gonna be posted on Google Classroom either. The today's a meet until everyone finish it, and not just only your class, but all other classes finish it. Then I will post this so you can go over if you still have a question. But even then, you can just ask me. Sometimes I know we're on virtual, but students not ask me question even I'm here. Is there anyone having trouble open that link? I don't know why. If you cannot open, that's fine. It's just a little survey that how you feel about the test. So if you don't have any question for the test, you are free to go and either do the correction, or you can ask me question, or you do whatever the assignment that you have to finish it up. So like a test review, you can submit it until when was it? The due date was the test review. Was it yesterday? So you can still submit it by today and tomorrow. I will count as your grade, but no later than tomorrow. You're not gonna see that grade on your grade book if you don't turn it in. All right. All right. Good job, Anika. I think you did a good job.
So
Unfortunately, we
this
don't
on
have
the
100 on this class or near 90, but yes, ma'am.
since I wasn't here to go over the review, do I just like make corrections on my test?
Yes,
Like,
try
can
to make
I
a
do that?
correction
Okay.
using your notes or something. If you couldn't find out, then you can ask me tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
then Jacqueline. Okay, thank you. Jacqueline, I'm gonna send you the link. So through the chat so we can discuss something quick, just you and me. So Jacqueline, I sent you the link through the Google Hangout. If you see it, please join the meeting. And I'm gonna mute it from this class meet until you have a question. Jacqueline, did you see the link? Jacqueline, can you hear me? Okay, then don't worry. Just click this link right here. Can you click the link I just posted on the chatting? Uh, except Jacqueline, you guys are good to go. You guys did a good job and log off, please. All right. Thank you, Anika, Emmanuel, Jack. Bye. Have a great day. All right, Jacqueline, now you can hear me, correct? You can write on the chat. All right. So Jacqueline, I'm gonna share my screen quick for your Google Classroom so you can see it, what you've been missing. Can you see the screen? If you see it, you can answer through the chat. All right. So I'm gonna give you the option, what you can do. You're gonna write an email with a list of the assignment that you've been missing and then state the date that you're willing to submit those work. All right. So that's my option.
Juniors and seniors report to B lunch if you have B lunch. Juniors and seniors report to B lunch if you have B lunch.
All right, sorry for interruption. So once you submitted that email, bye guys. Once you submit that email, then I'm gonna send you the testing link, and it has to be the Friday or Monday. Sounds good? Alrighty. And the best way you're gonna make it up is keep communicate with me, and then submit the missing assignment. All right? Good. All right, then have a good day, Jacqueline. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye bye.